E-commerce is changing all the time, and today I'm going to be talking about a pretty groundbreaking thing which we discovered at Purple Fire in the last 6 or so months. We've just seen so many examples of massive conversion lifts when we fixed this particular issue, which I'll show you today. And I think as a D2C brand, you really have to be aware of the changing behaviors of your customers and how, for example, how lazy we're getting because we're changing all our e-commerce behavior towards being on the phone. We're buying late in the evening when we're scrolling. And if you're not catering to that, you're literally not going to get people to buy because it's just too much effort. It's too much energy you have to invest in order to even buy the product. Also consider that most of the traffic is moving over to social, Instagram, TikTok, and so forth. And so you're going to be buying your traffic increasingly on these platforms or just generally on phones where people have really low attention span. But let me get you right into this example because it's pretty simple when you see it. But I think we have over 20 split tests where we've seen an improvement in this particular case for that area of the website. So let's dive in. Let me share my screen. And here you can see an example of Pet Lab Co. I love using them as well just because they are one of the best when it comes to executing this. And you might have guessed it by now. I'm talking about the product gallery on your PDPs and how you can improve conversion rate by simply selling the product in 10 images or less, and that's it. You don't need a massive PDP anymore. You need to be able to sell your product within that gallery. Why is that important? Galleries are always shown at the top of the PDPs. They're always going to be the first thing that people see and engage with. And if you're able to get people excited to scroll through your gallery, you can just convince them in 10 images or less what your product is about, the benefits, main obstacles, social proof, and you're basically ready to sell the product by the time they've browsed the whole gallery. Let me show you an example of a really good execution here on Pet Lab. First of all, we can see they land straight on the website and there's an offer that immediately hooks you in. Something about a gift, something about something extra. One thing they haven't done well is entice them enough to scroll through the gallery. But if you do scroll, you see some really, really good things. Number one, we want to show to the dog owners that this product is safe to use. So we're immediately addressing quality control, which is very, very important if you're selling to pets. Number two, key benefits immediately addressed. 4 key reasons why you should buy this product. Again, social proof, US best-selling probiotic, right? So it's really, really powerful and it's easy to understand what this product is about. You go to the next slide, we immediately create motivation for people to buy the product. So signs your dog may need probiotic support. This is really powerful and a lot of brands are not thinking about creating that additional motivation. You could easily see how you could implement this for other brands. So if you're selling, let's say, a shampoo, you could show the symptoms you may have in your hair that may be a reason why you need better shampoo or why you might need a better hair care routine in general. So you can think of tons of examples here. Then we have a little bit more, benefits, what's included, what you'll get in this specific product and how to use it. This is so powerful, so important. You always want to show how easy it is to get going because one of the main reasons why people don't buy is because they think it's too complicated or too difficult to use. So again, here we're just showing you how easy it is. And this is, an easy product to use. Not that people think it's complicated, but people are not sure how much to take and they're like, I have a specific raise and it's a big dog. I'm not sure how many capsules I should use per day. You're just making it easier. Don't have to be that difficult at all. And then again, more social proof and reasons to buy and sort of selling the results. What will you see on the other side? So again, after 3 months of use, these are the results, right? And you can basically see how easy it is. 84% see expected results within 3 months. So these are basically the slides they're going with here, and it changes for every product, which I'm a big fan of. Sometimes they're using an expert like a vet as one of their pictures in the galleries where there's a big statement on why this is a good product to use, and that's powerful in order to create trust and credibility as well. And guys, if you do this, you can see sometimes a 20-30% uptick in your conversion rate just from this alone. And some general tips is to go really all the way when it comes to the quality of these images. So you want to make sure that the photography is good. You want to make sure it's edited really well. You want to make sure that it's easy to understand. See how they blurred the background here, so it's easy to understand the key benefits. That's very powerful. And if you don't have it set up that way so it's easy to digest, then no one is literally going to want to browse your gallery. So that's number one here as well. Again, here, using a nice background, making it easy to understand. The font size has to be big enough. That's a key issue we see in so many galleries and something you need to improve. But you always want to have social proof. One thing that's missing from Pet Lab Co. here is they don't have any testimonials. You would definitely want 1 or 2 testimonials in there. And you want a testimonial that basically addresses one of the key issues that you know people have with your product. And that's going to be powerful in convincing people. And you always want to have a really unique and easy to understand offering here. So basically, if you don't see certain results, you get your money back, or some kind of guarantee where you stand behind the product. I think that's really powerful. Then you always want to show the results, which they're doing here. And you always want to show directions on how easy it is to use the product. These are really, really key benefits. Now, depending on the product you're selling, again, here, the product is not important to see so much, other than the fact that you want to see that the product looks good. I think that's one thing they could have done better here, is show the food in a real picture. So this is graphic, so we cannot actually see the actual product. I'd like to see someone holding it in their hand like this, with just a handful of the product, or it being served to a dog. I think that's really powerful as well. But if you're a fashion brand where the color is really, really important, you would want in your gallery to show it in natural lighting. And one of the biggest issues I see with fashion brands is that they're showing it in a studio environment where the light can be controlled. But the fact is that people are not buying this to see it in a studio, they're buying it in real life. So show it, you know, the fashion brands, show the clothing while someone is sitting in a cafe, or show it when someone is walking on the street, so you can see how the light hits, how the sun hits the clothes, so you can understand what it looks like in real life. And this is huge game changer. That is something you want to do. Now, in the end of this video, I just want to show you a bad example as well. So this is what most e-commerce stores are seeing in different degrees. You uploaded your product. In this case, you can see it's an actual real product that someone took a photo of. And then we can see the render is pretty bad. Like, the quality is pretty bad. I can barely see what it says because it's hard to read. And here we have a video as well. It doesn't look very professionally made. This kind of like font here seems super basic, but it's better than nothing, but it's just not super good. Then we can see you can see the product here, but it's with a studio background. I would have preferred it sitting on a desk, having some kind of contrast, because this is hard to digest. The gallery is really poor. There's no like directions. There's no like how easy it is to use, and what do you get once you're taking it for a certain amount of months, what are the benefits you're seeing. Even what are the benefits of the product is hard to understand. You have to zoom in here to see it. So it's a bad gallery. There's no reviews, there's no social proof, there's no expert opinion, and this is why this page probably has a very low conversion rate, and something I would immediately fix if I was working with them. So when we work with our clients, we actually redo their galleries and do all the things you see here on Pet Lab. So this is an easy way to get a big conversion uplift. Just redo the gallery, make sure we address all these points, and we might want to have 10 or so images in there, because there's a lot to say and people like to scroll. It's easy, it's effortless, and it doesn't really slow down the page. So that's something I think you should do right away. That's just how e-commerce is changing. And if you do this, I think you're going to see huge conversion uplifts. If you're split testing this, set up an event so you can see all session recordings that interact with the gallery. And if you're having a low amount of people interact with the gallery, make sure the first images is enticing. This one is actually not really good for that. Another thing you can do is sort of show 10% of the next image. That gets people excited. Or you can show thumbnails down here that show like all different types of images, not just like 8 angles of the same image. That gets people excited about it, and they will want to browse it as well. So make those changes. You're going to see a huge impact. I hope this was useful.